Rhode Island, and Tennessee. Together, those cons. We have our first projection of the night. Carolina.
No, the internet.
Very, very early.
Oh, okay.
You upset there, Joe Biden leading in Dallas County, 66% of the vote.
I want to just point out a lot of this vote in Texas is early voting.
I'm taking a walk. This is like the biggest thing about wearing the mask is like my glasses fog up when I want to take a break from wearing contacts, and it's really annoying. Taking a walk. Election night walk to kind of take a break from watching the news. Can't really see because it's starting to get dark early, but I've got my American flag kicks on. It's a little haunting how empty Melrose is, and everything is boarded up. Crazy. Helicopters are ready. Fresh air, a break from watching the news coverage of the presidential election, and to kind of get a feel for how it was going to be here. There's barely anybody out compared to normal. Hi, I just wanted to see if you voted this year.
I haven't gone yet, but I will.
And do you have a plan of who you're going to vote for? You don't have to share it, but it would be great if you did.
Not Donald Trump. I just think we need a change in leadership. Something to like help us, stop this pandemic.
It's a crazy year, right?
Yeah, we haven't had any like structure or anything like making us feel safe.
It's been a rough year.
It's been a rough year. I think we could have prevented all this beforehand, way before, but I'm 37 and I live in downtown LA.
Oh, okay, I'm 36, so we're close to the same age.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
LA. It affects me employment-wise, because we're shutting down, like, hours are getting cut, can't be out here as much. Plus, now we have to make sure our safety is good before we go home to our families, because I can't go back with a COVID-19 infection.
Well, we have a historic election tonight with, just before today, over 100 million votes cast. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to take longer than tonight, but thank you so much for sharing. Just trying to document history, and there's barely anybody out here, so which is really weird because it's Melrose.
Exactly. There should be
I know.
crowded.
I know.
But now,
right?
This whole thing going on, it's like
a few people here and there.
There's nothing here.
Well, what's your name, sir?
Hector.
Hector, thank you so much for sharing, and I hope your family stays safe.
Same thing.
Okay, so first, hi, what's your name?
Hey, my name's Ari.
Your name's Ari, and how old are you, Ari?
No comment.
I just wanted to see if you voted in this election and why.
Yes, I did, because I voted for my First and Second Amendment.
And do you want to share who you voted for?
Donald Trump.
All right, and where are you from originally, if not here?
My family's from Long Beach, and my mom's from Texas, but I live in out of the country.
And how do you feel about tonight's election with it being so historic with over 100 million ballots already cast before today?
I'm very excited.
Are you going to be watching tonight or no?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Shouldn't go towards communist type of country that China's running right now.
Did you vote in this historic election?
No.
No, and can you tell me why?
I don't like neither one of them.
What were you looking for in a candidate that like they would not bring it? Like Biden would bring it, Trump wouldn't bring it.
I feel like neither one of them could bring something different to the country, because if they did, they would have said it. So that one.
What do you think about it being two 70-year-old plus white men in office controlling this country?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of crazy. It's going to be kind of strict or something, so I feel like somebody younger definitely need to be in there.
Yeah.
But I ain't never think about the age limit. They is old. They old.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks so much for your perspective. Are you guys going to follow this at all tonight?
Shit.
You're going to kind of just see what happens?
Yeah, just see what happens.
All right, well, thank you so much, and stay safe out here, okay?
All right, thank you.
I wear these stupid glasses. I am never wearing glasses again with a mask. I always say that, but then I do. Okay, how are you guys doing tonight? What's your names?
Good. My name is 2K Baby Casen.
Nice, and what's yours?
I'm Cito.
Cool, and I just wanted to see different perspectives on the election. Did you vote? I know you can't, but would you if you could?
I would have voted Biden, because Trump he started the Black Lives Matter, the white people that kill black people. If I can, I will vote Biden.
And how did you learn about all this stuff? Do you watch the news, or do you learn from your mom and dad, or do you like to read?
Sometimes I watch the news, and sometimes I just look on TikTok and see it.
Oh, nice. So social media, huh? Yeah. They didn't have that when I was young.
Go follow you on TikTok.
What's your TikTok?
My TikTok is CAYSEN4L.
Nice. And is this your brother, dad, uncle?
My
big brother. Just call me Big Brother.
Big brother?
my uncle.
Okay, and then did you vote in this historic election?
No, I ain't have a chance to vote,
but if you did?
I think we all know not to go Trump.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, you said Trump?
Nah, we all know not to go Trump.
I was about to say you going Trump.
And I'm just curious, because I'm asking people different perspectives. Why so uncertain of like another side? Because I'll tell you the truth on me, I definitely have a more radical approach. So like I feel like even Biden isn't enough.
I'm not excited about none of the candidates.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not excited about Kanye West.
I just want to tell everybody I need Obama back.
Okay.
Everybody need Obama back.
See, I cried, and I remember when Obama was elected. I lived in the Caribbean at the time. And the Caribbean, I'll tell you what, the Caribbean was partying for weeks because it's 85% Black Caribbean. So everybody was in the streets excited about Obama's win. It was so historic.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it, ever. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Are you guys going to watch it all tonight, or are you just going to check tomorrow and see what's going on?
I've been checking
Well,
since Biden's winning.
If I had Roku, I would have get on Roku TV and watch the news.
And can I ask how old you are, sweetheart?
I'm 8 years old.
You are 8 years old, and you know about politics. You are so smart.
And I'm going to turn 9 in February the 18th.
Okay, nice.
And on my TikTok, I have a song.
Oh my God, so are you a singer?
I'm a rapper.
Oh, you're a rapper, nice. I'm an actor, so I'm in the industry too.
That's what's up.
I know what's up. Cool, were you guys doing a little skating tonight?
Yeah.
He's trying to teach me. I suck.
So look.
He's a little teacher.
Look, so if you put your foot right here, you can do that. And then
You don't want to see me try to.
All right, I won't get you on camera, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys giving a different
All right, no
perspective
problem.
tonight.
Thank you.
Peace, y'all. Stay safe. Well, regardless of the foggy glasses and less people out tonight, I got a nice little interview. Don't know what those sirens are for. It's Hollywood though, I'm used to it. I'm just back from my walk on Melrose, interviewing people and their perspectives on the election. Right now I'm just on my yoga mat, elevating my feet, and watching the news. This is nerve-wracking. I just hope everybody's taking care of themselves. You know, the walk helped too. I've been meditating almost every hour.
This is the anomaly of tonight.
And you gotta take little breaks, but also this is history. So I've watched every election in its entirety. And it's also very exciting. It's just historic. So coming in with surprising numbers, even though it's pretty early. But who knows? But just so many changes. Like with coronavirus this year, more mail-in voters than normal, not just older folks, not just people that are abroad. but like literally so many people mail-in voting because of coronavirus and just wanting to be safe. But then also we had a historic turnout of early voters and of people just voting in general in person today. We can't predict anything this year. Like, everything is crazy. Like, some of these states that are like always red are turning blue and vice versa. Some of them. Oh god, this is so nerve-wracking. Oh my god.
Polls have been closed for over 2 hours in several key battleground states, including...
College votes. Trump has 108. 190.
See what happens there. That would be interesting if that one switched.
This is interesting. This is very close. The only flip we're seeing potentially so far is Arizona, but we're seeing some of the math change in key places like Texas, for example, which is where I'm from. Not likely that, you know, Florida and other places that we thought maybe would flip are gonna flip, but we'll see. We also have different demographics and different ways of voting this year, with a lot of early voting that hasn't been counted yet, so we just gotta be patient.
So you see red, again, if you're a Republican, you're looking at this map. This is a handstand map, but we're just not there yet. Again, these are...
33%, we're at 22% more. You see the math starting to go up there, but still 33%. You see 209,000. You know, so you got at least 300,000 plus. If it's a higher turnout election, maybe 400,000 more votes to win. So we're gonna have to watch this one plays out here. Again, you come into the counties around again. You know, it's frustrating to people who want to know. You look up here. Again, Joe Biden has 98,000 votes in Allegheny County right now. Hillary Clinton carried it 4 years ago with 367,000.
So that's 285.
Find out. Election night in America continues in 2 minutes.
I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election.
That is why we were having to wait. That is why we are left at the edge of our seats as we look
It's
at
like
Pennsylvania.
10:40 and
67%
Biden's at 220,
voters
Trump
in.
is at 230 electoral college.
You know, or you know, it's increasing. There's still a lot of
Prematurely call any of the other states. Let's bring in Jim Acosta, who is at the White
Hot
House.
cocoa.
Jim, the president's arm out. What are you anticipating he's going to say?
Going into Wednesday,
Yeah, I mean,
but
just to give you a
this
sense
is
of
normal.
the
People need to
results
just be
for Joe
patient.
Biden, that is part of.
So sure when he tweeted what he tweeted a couple of at this point.
Why is he
And
saying that he
overturned the
clearly
gentleman
has
that called that I
Georgia?
watched tonight. He said, "Well, we think it's fairly."
To get to sign up voters, new voters, door knocking and what have you. The Democrats abiding by the rules did not do that. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays into, how that factors into whatever the outcome of this election is. We see it playing into the early part.
Okay, so election night continued into Wednesday, and I'm sure even tomorrow and maybe the next day. So it is Wednesday, November 4th, 2020. I'm taking a little walk, just taking a break from the craziness of watching the news. But I'm gonna see if I can get some different perspectives of people today. Last night I came out for a little walk and break and was only able to interview a few people because nobody was out. Understandably. But even on Melrose and Hollywood, that's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna see if I can find some other people. Still pretty boarded up in Hollywood off Melrose today, but there's definitely more people out, probably because I came out a little bit earlier. So we'll see if I could talk to some folks. Lori, how old are you, if you want to share?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old. Gosh, I remember the days. So we're here in one of the vintage shops off of Melrose, and I was just looking around, but I'm trying to get different perspectives of people and how they feel about the 2020 election. You know, either Biden's going to win or Trump's going to win. Biden. What are your thoughts? Okay. Well, first of all, did you vote in this election?
I couldn't because I'm a New York resident, so ordering the absentee ballot, my mailing system is kind of effed up, so like I couldn't get my ballot. So sadly I couldn't vote, but all for
Where are you
Biden.
from in New York?
I'm from the Bronx. Yeah, sadly I couldn't vote, but you know, I would have voted for Biden because fuck Trump. I feel like why I would vote for Biden is because he has more of a clear plan how to take care of the coronavirus and, you know, the economy, because Trump takes all our taxes and just say, I'm sorry? I don't, but you can borrow Scar.
Oh, okay.
See, that's we're doing a video right now, but you know what? Like, that's exactly what's going on right now. It's like people have to wear masks in businesses. We're going through a virus, so
He's not taking care of the coronavirus as he should be, and I believe that Biden will shut down the country as it needs to happen, so everybody can stay inside, because it's not that hard to stay inside and wear a mask. You know, we're not being prisoners in our own home. At least we're not in jail. So it's just like Trump is not helping the coronavirus. 200,000 people died already, and like, it's just not hard to wear a mask.
But how has it affected you directly? Has it affected your work or your health or anyone in your family?
My mom thought she had it for a second, but it hasn't affected me, thank God. I wear a mask every single day. I stay at least 6 feet apart, as I should be. I still work, so luckily I was able to work in Portland because I lived in Portland for 7 months. But yeah.
I lived in the Columbia River Gorge, so I remember. Yeah, I love Portland.
Portland's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they went through a lot with the fires, but you know.
I left just when the fires started happening.
Wow.
So, and then it hit California as well. So it's pretty bad because apparently people don't believe in climate change.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I'm gonna get some more perspectives, but I really appreciate yours, and let's see what happens. I have a feeling that this is gonna take at least a few more days.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. It's gonna be a while, but we already know Biden's winning.
Girl. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Niggas like Chef, you moving too high, you got nothing to prove, you to this shit.
And surprisingly, a lot of people don't want to be on camera with their beliefs or who they voted for. But I'm just noticing on the news that Biden is up to 264 in electoral votes, so 6 points away. 6 from clinching. So I want to see, first of all, if you voted in this election.
I did not.
And then if someone did not or did, I want to know why.
Because I'm afraid at this point, either way you go on a list, that can be used later.
If it could be another candidate, was there someone else in mind that you wanted, or is there not anybody that really kind of comes to your interests?
Trump would have been the one just because of the options. And because of how I've been treated just for wearing a Captain America t-shirt the last freaking couple months. T-Mobile gave me problems, and I was stuck at the Beverly connection because the Target took my ticket.
And you feel like probably like if you would have voted, it would have been...
No, I felt that if I wore that shirt, and that's how I was treated the 2 times I wore that shirt in public from exercising up at Running Canyon, then I would vote for Trump. But I didn't, because I feel that either way you're probably compiled on a list that the NWO or whatever they call the collective or whatever can use later.
Gotcha. And then have you voted before or no?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool.
I used to be Democrat.
Gotcha. And are you originally from LA or are you
Oh,
new?
hell no. I need to leave here after 32 years. These people are narcissistically insane, all about me, and nobody understands me unless you're 50 or older, because you kids were trained and educated against us and differently. I was going to win. I was told that a week ago.
Gotcha.
I'm injecting hydrogen peroxide in my veins. Last year when I argued with my girlfriend, they said that I was diddling my daughter and that I was believing in aliens.
Well, I wish you a safe and healthy journey, whatever it is, and I really appreciate you answering the questions. I'm really just trying to get all the perspectives.
I apologize if I ran along. Have a great day.
Have a good day. Bye. Well, you see, we have a lot of different perspectives here. Before the deadline, I mean, I'm just scared for those people. Like, this is ridiculous.
You know, we've heard people say we'll have 1,000 total, and those have not yet been counted, the ones that they have received in. Well,
so, Kate, just to be precise, are we talking when you say 85% is watching? Limited options left for this.
Great, can't wait to see how great everybody is going to feel after hearing Trump speak. Okay, so day 3 of going out on Melrose in my neighborhood. Try to talk to folks and see how they feel about the election results that have come about so far on day 3, and also any responses I can get to what our current president just said to all of the American people. See what I can hear. How are you guys doing? We're on Melrose in Hollywood. What's your names, first of all?
I'm Jose. This is Victoria, my girlfriend.
Victoria, cool. How old are you guys?
I'm 19.
19. Oh, you're youngins. Yeah. So, do you guys live in Hollywood or somewhere else?
No, we live actually in Downey.
Oh, I know where that is. Cool. Anyway, I just want to ask you guys a few questions. First of all, I want to see, are you following the election at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you happen to vote this year, since you're old enough?
Yeah.
You did. And do you want to share who you voted for and why, each of you guys?
Well, I voted for Biden because I feel this. I feel like the country needs a shift, a change, rather than Trump, because he's been doing like kind of like questionable things, and I feel like Biden would be like an answer, like a different answer that maybe people like would rather hear. So.
And then how about you, Victoria?
I voted for Biden because Trump has done a lot of like not like decent, like morally decent things like in his policies, and there's certain things that like people will argue like the economy and like different like policies he's done, like the opportunity zones. Obama fixed what Bush did with like the employment rate. So Trump basically rode the wave, and then with the way he handled coronavirus, he kind of made the unemployment rate spark back up.
And the amount of voters that came out who were Latino and who were under a certain age, or who were people of color in general, was more than any other election. How do you guys feel voting in your very first election?
Honestly, I think more people our age found it more important this year because everything that Trump's done, like how he holds himself, and basically right off the bat, like racist stuff that he says about like every person of color, and like how he's handled coronavirus. He shows that he doesn't really care about the people, and honestly, it's all about his ego and like the economy, which he's actually brought down, and almost brought like we're in a recession. We're almost at the point of
like, Great Depression.
The Great Depression.
Exactly.
Okay, well, my dad, he's a business owner. So starting out with the pandemic starting out, that obviously affected it because we had to shut down in the start of it. So, but coming back to it, like trying to get back into business and everything, he still, I guess, struggles because now he has to like apply to new policies and like figure things out with insurance.
What's the family business, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a seafood business, restaurant.
Oh wow, mariscos.
Yeah. Well, plus we have a lot of family that can easily get coronavirus, so we both have to be really careful with that. In March, I was in Connecticut, so like I was going to school there, and they shut my school down and gave us
because you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
You were just out of high school.
Yeah. So they gave us within like 2 days to like get our shit together and leave.
Wow.
So I had to deal with that and like all the stress from that. And they didn't really help. And then right now, my school was actually in like an orange zone, like the cases started going up. So I left like right away because I was paranoid and I was worried about my family.
Well, I'm glad you guys have each other. I'm glad you're safe and healthy. I'm glad, you know, you made it an informed choice and you were able to vote regardless of, you know, all of the crazy stuff going on with coronavirus. Did you guys, can I ask you if you voted in person or by mail?
I voted in person.
In person?
Because I did it kind of late.
Oh, so you wanted to make sure?
Yeah, I just wanted to do it as quick as possible, so I went to the drop-in ballot box.
Gotcha. Yeah. How about you?
Same thing.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for answering the questions. I'm trying to get different perspectives. We're going to see what happens. But, you know, we kind of all expected this, right? We kind of all expected a kind of circus, and we'll see how it goes. But I wish you guys the best, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Rose, and I'm talking to...
Matt,
how old are you?
28.
Cool. And have you voted, or did you vote in this current election?
I did, yeah.
And would you like to share who you voted for?
Yeah, sure. I voted for Joe and Kamala. I'm actually from Chicago, so I voted.
So you're not originally from here?
No, I'm here for law school. But I voted in Illinois by mail in early October.
Oh, great. That was another thing I was going to ask. So you voted by mail. So, can you tell me a little bit of why you chose Joe and Kamala? Was it an easy choice for you? Was it hard? Were you a third-party person before?
It was a pretty easy choice for me. I chose them. I mean, usually I try to be pretty independent and look at like the content of a candidate's character. And you know, looking at that criteria, this cycle and even the last one was fairly obvious. I thought Joe and Kamala were just much better people, much more willing to listen to people that, you know, they disagreed with, and uniting and then dividing.
And how do you feel about how the election is playing out right now with the president making these claims of fraudulent mail-in ballots and things like that? Does it make you feel a little bit antsy? Do you have confidence in the system and the law and what people think about what's going to happen, which is we're going to count every vote and we're going to see every American's perspectives? How do you feel about that?
You know, I think it's easy to be scared at a time like this, and I definitely am bracing for a scenario where the votes have been counted and the election went in a way that I didn't want it to go. But I feel very, very confident in our democracy. And, you know, if you think about it, this is the highest turnout by far that we've ever experienced. And most of that turnout is in a manner of voting that we've not, you know, practiced in this high volume, the mail-in and the absentee and things like that.
Exactly.
So counties and states are adjusting to counting in that way, a record number of votes. So I have full confidence that they'll get it done and it'll be accurate, but we just gotta be patient and, you know, hopefully the current president, someone tells him that, you know, votes were voted on election day or you know, done on election day, is being counted now. And that, you know, something can be done before but still be counted. You know, no matter what, I know it could be very bad, but I have a lot of faith in the American people, and I hope we all just can stick together and try to bridge some of the gaps between each other. So
I agree, and I really appreciate your perspective. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions, Matt.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you so
much.
much.
Stay safe out here.
You too.
Melrose in Hollywood, and tonight I am speaking with
Eli.
Eli, how old are you?
I'm 21.
21. All right, so this would be your first election. Did you happen to vote this year?
Yes, I did.
And do you want to share who you voted for?
I voted for Biden.
Okay, do you want to share why you voted for Biden?
I just feel like his beliefs are good for this country and can help us a little better and succeed into this life. So I just feel like he's the right president for our country.
Now, this is history, and I'm sure you know this. Got more votes than any other presidential election in history. How do you feel about this being your very first election that you can vote in?
I'm very happy because I have the opportunity to vote, and not many people were able to get the opportunity to vote. So having the opportunity to vote is a very great thing to me and my family, and I'm just trying to pass it all along to all my peers to vote.
This year has been crazy with the coronavirus, with all the fires in California, with, you know, we've got Black Lives Matter, we've got people uprising and standing up for what they believe in. How do you feel about that? Which of those have affected you greatly? I'm sure all of them, but in what ways, and which ways do you want to share?
The coronavirus has impacted me and my lifestyle by just like the whole working situation and how it slowed down everything and trying to adjust and get back to the normal. But that's about it. Just taking it day by day and trying to get through it.
Great. And then do you live in Hollywood or are you just visiting?
I live in Beverly Hills.
In Beverly Hills, gotcha. Okay, well, thank you so much for your perspective, and stay safe out here. There's a lot. Indy, and Indy, how old are you?
28.
28, great, cool. I'm trying to get different perspectives, just walking around Melrose and Hollywood, trying to see how everybody feels about the current status of the election. On day 3, so I just kind of wanted to see if people voted, who they voted for, and why, and how they're feeling at this point. So first of all, did you get to vote this year?
I did, and I voted for Biden.
And do you want to share why?
Isn't that so
I know there's so many, I know.
It's so obvious. Well, okay, here, I'll say this. I was taught that we have to take care of each other in order for our society to work. And so that's a big reason. I think a lot of the other reasons are obvious. But yeah, I voted for Biden. And how I'm feeling about the general election is...
You know how it's going with the current president's
I'm curious why Nevada
claims.
is taking so long, because it's been a day and a half and there hasn't been any change.
Gotcha.
And I understand that they're being really careful and doing things differently this election. Everyone's like watching how the process actually is.
Of course, with all the mail-in because of the virus, all that stuff.
But it does make me feel a little like suspect that, you know, something they're like trying to make us anxious or something, because I just don't know what's taking so long.
I think everybody too also
One
is
state.
already still, you know, in panic from everything that's going on.
And that's
this
like
year.
the whole, they want that, but we can't panic. But I do wonder why, calmly, I wonder why Nevada is taking so long.
How about the other states? How about states like Georgia, Pennsylvania?
Well, I was surprised that Pennsylvania was red this year, it hasn't been called yet, but I was really surprised because it's always blue usually. So I wonder about like the statistic, or not statistics, but I guess why it's red this year. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, the thing is, we're not
Pennsylvania?
done with Pennsylvania. We still got some
The
time with the
mail-in
big
votes.
metropolitan
Yeah,
areas.
yeah.
We do know that Trump spent a lot of time campaigning, but, you know, the point is, I think that everybody needs to feel a sense of calm, and that, like,
Yeah,
you just gotta
exactly.
count all these votes.
Yeah,
but
I'm just curious, you
Yeah,
know?
of course.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, come on, you know, it's Nevada. It's not...
Right, like there's not that many people in Nevada, and we got all of those states out of the way, and it just feels so, because it's all smoke and mirrors, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I have my guard up, but
I
I'm
feel
staying
ya.
calm.
And then last question, like, how about this year? I mean, I know it's like a loaded question. All of us have gone through so much, whether you're Republican, Democrat, rich, poor, black, white, like just personal, like, you know, feelings about how it's gone, how the president's handled it, and also how you've gone through things. Like, have you lost a job? Have you had to move? Have you, you know, anything that affected you directly from the coronavirus specifically?
Well, just speaking on it as in a collective, I think I don't know if everybody's spiritual or whatever, but I think it's the universe's natural patterns in a way. Like, this had to have happened. All of this had to have happened, you know? And we're not even at rock bottom, but we're, you know, it's been, for every individual, it's been such an intense year, and that's just never common. So I think as a collective, it's just, this was what was needed to happen in order to be better. Like, I think Trump, as painful as it was to like listen and watch him for the last 4 years, I think he really is a mirror. Yeah. I mean, that's a really positive way to look at it. Like, I could go the other way, but I'd rather stay positive right now. But so I think of it as, I don't like the word blessing, but like, we needed this to happen. You know?
And you know, for me, just remembering that whoever gets in office, which, you know, it's looking increasingly like it's going to be Biden,
right?
There's going to be a big job to fill. You know, there's going to be a lot of stuff on the table that needs to be figured out, and he's got to hit the job running.
There's so much in the works right now, like
Yes.
Trump trying to do so much before he's out of office, that we're going to have to be really like, that's why I think Biden's not going to last that long, you know what I mean? And I think Kamala, I think she'll be a president. I'm into astrology, so she's an Aries and a Libra, and like,
I'm a Pisces.
Yeah, I'm moon in Pisces. But she's got the scales going on, and I like that she puts people into tension. You know, she yells at them, and we have lots of men to yell at.
Yeah, so let's see women in power doing the same, right?
Yeah, I really do think a better future is a female future. I do.
Right on.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Bye.
And stay safe out here,
Yeah,
okay?
you too.
Fingers crossed. You guys, we're really close. Georgia, we went from 19,000 difference between the two candidates to 17. And the margins just keep getting closer. I think we'll find this out tonight. Georgia! Honestly, I agree with Chris Cuomo. Like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. Like, I didn't before, but I wouldn't even concern myself with reading any misleading, completely false, awful tweets that the current president is putting out, saying that he won, that everything's a fraud, and blah, 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 blah. I feel like Chris Cuomo, I honestly think that everybody's just done with that and they're ready for the next phase. It almost reminds me of like a toxic like boyfriend or girlfriend that like now they're texting you and you're like already feel the difference of like when you're reading it, you're just like, oh, I'm over this now. Thank you for mentioning rent and unemployment instead of just caring about suing people.
We have serious problems to deal with. COVID, the economy, to racial justice, and climate change. We don't have any more time to waste on partisan warfare. Opportunity to build the future we want for our kids and our grandkids.
Hey y'all, I'm just wearing my Syracuse alumni pin. Just proud to have the first Syracuse University graduate to be President of the United States, and also to have the first woman of color to be a Black woman and an Indian American woman to serve as a vice president, and who knows, maybe one day president. It's no matter what history, so no matter if you're Republican, conservative, Democrat, socialist, independent, non-politically aligned, this is a huge deal for our country, especially in the midst of all this chaos, destruction, lies, and ridiculous everything. I have no words. I'm exhausted. Look, and lastly, just like representation matters, decency matters. And this is history. You know, I remember when Obama was elected and my dad was a Republican, and we didn't agree on a lot of things, but my dad was decent enough to, when we had conversations about things politically, and this is when I was a Democrat, not even a radical. So we would get into these arguments, or I guess conversations, and oh yeah, I see your way, and you know, like, oh yeah, I get this, but that. But when Obama was elected to office, he cried and he was happy for him because it was history. You know, he was the first Black man to be elected president of the United States. So let's not forget, even though there's a ton of fucking work to do, and believe me, I wish that the choice was somebody else, to be honest. But right now, let's just take time to breathe and to also remember what the next steps are forward. So let's not forget also that Donald Trump is still president until January, when hopefully everything goes. Biden and Kamala are inaugurated into office. We still have to deal with this. We also have a rising number of cases and deaths in this global pandemic that is not being handled in any fucking way. We have rising unemployment numbers, eviction moratoriums, and, unemployment coming to a close, if not already, with some people, and just so many things happening that haven't been addressed yet. So, right now I'm trying to be optimistic, and I do feel so much better than I did yesterday and in the last 4 years. So, yeah, let's see what everybody has to say about it. This morning we got the news that we now have a president-elect, and that is Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. It's been a crazy day. I've been following this since before the election, but just glued to my laptop and phone since election day. That turned into election week, really. But right now I'm gonna go and try to get some perspectives of how people feel about this, and how it's hitting them emotionally and personally, and just what this means to them. So let's see if we can find some people to talk to. Who am I speaking with today?
My name's Gerald.
Jared, how old are you?
I'm 50.
50. Okay, so how do you feel about this historic election today with finally getting the results, with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris potentially getting into the White House?
I feel fucking great about it. It's about time. 4 years of hell. I'm glad that it's soon to be over. I'm really happy to celebrate the first woman elected vice president, and not to mention a woman of color vice president. That's a fucking amazing thing, and I'm stoked.
Yeah, and I just think that there's like an air of relief in the air. There's a lot of people out here celebrating. I'm glad you feel good. And do you want to say anything else about the outgoing administration if they do go?
See you in court, and I hope you go to jail, you fuckers.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Melrose in Hollywood on November 7th, 2020, and I am speaking with.
My name is Itzel Gomez-Ruiz, and I am 18 years old.
Great. And are you from LA, or do you live elsewhere and just visiting?
Yeah, I am.
Cool. And can I ask you if you were old enough to vote when it was voting time?
Yes, actually, this was my first election that I ever voted in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just turned 18. I registered at the voting area, and then I just voted there.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So this is really like a huge historic thing for you.
Yeah.
Are you open to sharing who you voted for?
Oh, Biden, for sure.
And are you open to sharing why?
Yeah, because I feel like a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for hate, honestly, and everything that he stands for, which is basically a vote against POCs, a vote against black people, a vote against women, LGBT people. That's honestly my feel like. And I'm not saying Biden is a saint either, but I feel like it for sure is a lesser of two evils. Well, something that I know I was really invested in was when the inauguration of Trump's, what's her name again? The new person in the Supreme Court? Amy Coney Barrett, yeah. I would just really like to see how that plays out. I guess for Joe Biden, something that I would really like to see from him, I guess, is him keeping up all the promises and statements that he made during like running for election and everything, and what he would say he would do, especially with the pandemic. I feel like that was a very big thing about how he said he would reinforce mask wearing when Donald Trump basically just took it as a secondary, as optional. And I feel like also to just with everything going on with Black Lives Matter and police reformation, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys stay safe in this crazy time, and let's just hope that everything goes a little bit more smooth. Cool. So I am here with
Alan Rosario.
Danny.
And how old are you guys?
19.
19.
Oh, you're youngins.
Yeah.
Okay, so here comes the important question. Yeah. Did you guys vote in this election? You did?
Yeah.
And how about you?
I also did.
And how do you feel about just like in general voting in your first election?
I mean, for the first time, it was just pretty normal. I mean, it was pretty simple. Just go in and fill it out, put it in the ballot.
So did you do it mail-in or drop it in a Dropbox?
I did a Dropbox.
And how about you?
I also dropped it off in a Dropbox too.
Okay. You guys live in LA or do you live elsewhere and visiting?
We live in LA.
Yeah, we live in LA.
Want to share who you voted for?
I voted for Biden.
How about you?
I also voted for Biden.
Do you guys want to share why?
Well, I feel
we have
like,
the same beliefs too.
I feel like at my time of my life, since like Biden is taxing like 400,000, yeah, the higher up in rank, that's fair. Yeah.
So basically for you it was like, it's more of a matter of
taxes.
Okay, let's tax the rich so that we can help the greater community, because there's really only 1% of the people that have that tax bracket, correct?
Yeah.
So for you, it was more of like, okay, what's fair and what's just in this crazy time? How about coronavirus for you guys? I know you're 19, but I don't know if you had plans to go to college, if you have jobs that were affected, if you have families that were affected. What were the main things that you've been concerned about? And what do you look for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to do once they are able to get in office and get the ground running?
Just like safety precautions, better precautions, because I work in the hospital, so I know.
Oh, wow. What do you do in the hospital?
I'm actually a nurse.
Wow, good for you. Thank you so much for your service.
Yes, thank you.
But what are you looking? So you're looking for what? More PPE, more support?
Yeah, more PPE services for just safety in general.
How about you?
I'm a reseller, so I'm like a small business. What I do is I flip shoes. So, I mean, Trump, he had good pros for like business owners, but I mean, it is what it is. But I like Biden.
I think there's a lot of people too that like, you know, we have mixed beliefs, you know, or it's more complex, or maybe there was people that were going for Bernie Sanders or another independent candidate that was more in line with what they wanted. But the thing is with Trump, I'm finding more and more talking to people that like they just could not have another 4 years of his destruction.
Yeah, it was getting hectic.
Yeah, it was getting out of hand.
How about the character of Joe Biden? How do you feel about him?
I mean, Joe Biden's cool. I feel like he's open-minded. I mean, he had an interview with Cardi B. Yeah.
And as young folks, no, really, I mean, that to me, that's a big thing. I'm 36, but I remember being 19 like it was yesterday. And I think like being young, it's important to kind of appeal to those demographics so that, you know, you can kind of like get more, exactly, relate and get more people to vote, get more people to get organized, get more people to actually care about what does affect them, right?
This was actually my first year voting.
Well, it was the first one that you could, you know, being 19, right?
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I'm happy for you guys that you were able to participate in this historic election of just millions and millions of vote cast. And I really appreciate you guys giving your perspectives, and I hope you stay safe out here.
You too.
All right.
Subscribe.
BigFBM music.
Marie. I didn't hear you, hon. Marie. And how old are y'all? 34.
33.
Oh, cool. All right. So you guys are in the 30s like me. I'm a little bit older, but that's all right. But how do you feel after the current results?
I have mixed emotions about it. I did not vote. I didn't vote.
That's what I was going to ask you next. If you voted.
But I'm not really sure. I really didn't know how to pick my poison with Biden or with Trump. So that's just how I feel.
How about you? Did you vote? Can I ask you, did you vote in this election?
I did not vote this time.
And can you tell me why?
I really didn't think it counted. It don't matter at this point.
There's a lot of it because I'm finding, talking to a lot of people, I'm a mixed woman of color, but I know talking to a lot of young folks and people who aren't even mixed, they feel like their voices aren't being heard, not just in this current administration, but in this country in general.
It doesn't have anything for me, has nothing to do with their race. It just has something to do with me feeling like either president is going to actually impact my life and my family life. And I don't feel like that. I feel like everything is pretty much set in stone, and they kind of paint an illusion to the civilians that we are part of the voice, but I don't believe that we're part of the voice.
How about just history in general? Because for me, I know I have a more radical approach to politics. You know, I did vote, I did choose somebody, but I feel like I need somebody who's going to give universal health care, somebody who's going to stop all student loan debt, somebody who's going to pass a coronavirus bill to help those unemployed, those who are affected the most by this. But, you know, instead we've got a president who's going to the golf course and being ridiculous.
I mean, at a point in time, I did vote. I think I haven't voted in the last 2 terms. But I started to just give up hope. Sometimes I feel like I'm voting for the right person, and then, you know, it's just like, here's the government up to their bullshit again, and it just gets weird sometimes for me, so.
I feel you. How about Kamala Harris? How do you feel about her being the first, not only woman to be vice president, first black woman and first Indian American woman? Does that affect you in any way?
Congratulations to her, but she's
feel
not.
good about that.
I don't know.
We really don't
watch the politics like that.
Watch politics too closely, but I do feel like that our voice hasn't been heard, and that it gets lost in everything that else is going on. And it's like just kind of used as a bridge to get other things done, accomplished. when they mention it, but they really don't care about what's really going on because we still face the same struggles every day.
No matter what president we have, we still have the same
we had the same
problems.
struggles, same problems, and no president has ever really changed it. So we're really not looking for any hope or help from who won.
So Biden won. Biden was projected to win, and actually there's still so many mail-in ballots coming in.
It's a track halt.
Yeah, there's so many mail-in ballots coming in, and those
Congratulations
are
to Biden.
usually Democrats. So his numbers are going to just go up. So regardless if President Trump or current President Trump decides to go to court, no matter what, there's not a big enough margin.
I'm glad he's out. I mean, honestly, it's better luck with Biden, but because he's just like so embarrassing as the president. Like some of the things I be thinking that he be paying attention to, it's just like it's bigger fish to fry. He was embarrassing as the president. I hope Biden's better, but I mean, has any of them really just been better?
And let me say it, because when presidents, me growing up, always felt like a president was like a respectable, honorable person. I just felt like that Trump didn't fit those categories as like being a respectable person, just that, a role model, a positive role model for the children to look up to. I feel like he was definitely business savvy and smart about business and money, but as a president, you got to fit a certain criteria, a certain standard, just as a gentleman, as a human being, and I just feel like he didn't meet that at all. So that made me lose like all respect for presidents.
Yeah, because
moving forward now, because I'm like, how did he make it? Like, what? That's
because
crazy.
He had money.
Yeah.
But I respect.
Y'all know that's what it is.
But
that's
that shit
exactly
is
what
fake,
it is.
man.
I think it's kind of like a reality show a little bit. They throw somebody in there like Trump.
Yeah, and you guys are like me. I mean, I'm 36 and a half, but you're old enough to remember a little bit of decency, a little bit of respect for traditions and the process. There's been no plans to concede. Usually, if you guys know, there's a tradition that the president that's outgoing leaves a note in the Oval Office desk for the incoming president. There will be no note, and if there is, it'll be in the form of a ridiculous tweet. So, to be honest, like, I think everybody just needs to feel a little bit of just like calm and decency and realize, like,
remember what the White House felt like when
especially to have him come after Obama, it was just like, whoa, like, what the heck? It'd have been better off having a female president to let us see what that would have been like. But, Trump did his thing. We still here. We agree. Biden, congratulations to Biden. And let's just hope that the world becomes a better place. If we all do our part, it shouldn't be too hard, but we all got to come together, be on the same terms, same conditions, and we can really change this world. It can really happen.
The president can't do it all. We have to play our part too.
Thank you. Yes. I feel like people forget the power that they have. They forget that a lot of the laws that are in place.
we have more of a power than just.
Yes.
Yeah, we have more power than we use.
Yes.
More power than we realize.
And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like we have more power than the electoral process. We have more power than voting. People in the 50s, 60s, 70s were in the streets. They were fighting.
Even if, like, no matter what happens in the voting polls, no matter when, every time, as long as we do our job in real life every day,
that's humanitarian.
Nothing can stop that, because that's real life. It's not social media, TV, or nothing. It's like real life. You wake up, you being kind, generous, helpful to your neighbor, to your friends, your family, the world will just grow.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate y'all's perspectives. It's really nice also to get some fellow 30-year-olds because there are a lot of, you know what I mean, there's a lot of teens and 20s out here. I've gotten a few older folks. I've gotten some Trump supporters. I've surprisingly gotten some Kanye West supporters. I've gotten all kinds of supporters out here.
Kanye.
So it is nice to get some different perspectives, and you guys had a lot to say, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Stay safe. This is a crazy time.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Cool. Bye, y'all. Emotional because, like, just so tired. And I'm also, like, really happy for just women in this country just to be represented. And Jill Biden is going to be an amazing first lady. She's an educator, which I love. She's going to be pioneering for women who are in education. I just love that. It's just like a normal, hopeful speech. YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and just let everybody know about the channel. I'm literally like starting from scratch, from zero. I knew nothing about like editing or posting, so I appreciate any support, and I hope you come back to watch future videos. Thank you.